Chief Executive John Lee urges Hong Kong business leaders to go beyond being bystanders and take practical actions to contribute to the city's development. Burglars target 2 homes on opposite sides of the city and get away with more than $9 million worth of valuables and cash.
Wow!
And 17 more companies sign agreements with the SAR, taking Hong Kong closer to becoming a center for innovation and technology.
Chief Executive John Lee has urged the Hong Kong business community to actively contribute to the city's development rather than just being observers or commentators. Lee's comments followed a closed-door meeting last week with Xia Baolong, during which the director of the Hong Kong and Macau Affairs Office called on more than 30 business leaders from the SAR to recognize their important role and responsibilities and asked them to demonstrate their patriotism with concrete actions. At today's forum in the city, which was attended by members of the business and academic communities, the chief executive emphasized that the business sector and entrepreneurs in Hong Kong are not only participants and beneficiaries of the city's development, but should also be contributors. He highlighted the importance for Hong Kong to broaden its international network. Facing economic transformation, every sector in Hong Kong should start from themselves, seize the opportunities for change, and engage in practical actions to develop alongside Hong Kong and build a promising future, Lee said. Lee also mentioned the need for the SAR to innovate and rejuvenate itself, saying the government will consolidate its traditional advantages while expanding regional networks and new growth points. He hopes all sectors, including media professionals, will promote Hong Kong's strength to the world.
In 2 separate instances of robbery, burglars struck high-end residences in the city yesterday, making away with more than $9 million worth of valuables and cash. The first report was received around 7 p.m. last night about a break-in at a detached villa at 99 Route Twisk in Tsuen Wan. A foreign domestic helper called police after seeing 2 men ransacking the ground floor of the residence. She also alerted the homeowner. The burglars fled by the time the police arrived, but not before stealing handbags, watches, and jewelry worth an estimated market value of $8.25 million. Initial investigation revealed that a door on the ground floor of the villa was forcibly opened. 4 hours later, a somewhat similar incident occurred at the upmarket Villa de Victoria at 19 Plantation Road, located on the Peak. A 76-year-old female resident alerted police after she found signs of forced entry into the unit with a window pried open. Surveillance footage revealed 2 burglars breaking into the house. The owner of the units was not home at the time of the burglary. 20 watches valued at $790,000 and around $50,000 in cash were missing. Both cases are under investigation and no arrests have been made yet.
The Observatory will issue its standby signal number 1 later tonight as tropical cyclone Taraji moves closer to the city. In the next day or 2, Taraji is expected to move towards the western coast of Guangdong and the Pearl River estuary. Combined with the effects of the northeast monsoon, the region is forecasted to experience increasing winds and heavy rain. By Thursday, Taraji could come closer to the Pearl River estuary, although it may weaken by then. The decision to issue higher warning signals will depend on the cyclone's proximity to the estuary, its intensity, and local wind conditions.
The Office for Attracting Strategic Enterprises signed agreements with 17 more companies who are setting up or expanding their operations in Hong Kong. At the signing ceremony this afternoon, Financial Secretary Paul Chan welcomed the key enterprises, saying that, together, the companies will invest $42 billion over the coming years, creating over 17,000 jobs in the city. Chen also said the government is committed to fast-tracking the development of innovation and technology sector.
The Chief Executive's recent policy address has outlined a number of measures to increase our investments in emerging industries, such as artificial intelligence, biotech, and new energy, advance our strategic infrastructure, such as the Northern Metropolis development, and strengthen our collaboration with sister cities in the Greater Bay Area.
Gilbert Lee, Chief Financial Officer from Farmeron, a life science service enterprise, said the SAR government's program aimed at reducing initial operational expenses is what attracted the company to the SAR. Zhang Tao, Chief Executive Officer of Pudu Robotics, said they focused on humanoid and semi-humanoid robots, which are at the forefront of global technological advancement and require top talent and cutting-edge technology from around the world. Hong Kong has always been a leader in scientific research and is well connected to China and the West, Zhang added. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
A 27-year-old warehouse worker has been sentenced to 4 years in prison for engaging in illegal sexual activities with a 10-year-old girl. According to the case, during a police patrol back in 2021, the defendant, Zhong Shun Him, was found in possession of child pornography when the authorities seized his phone and a touchscreen tablet, which contained over 130 images and 222 videos of explicit material involving children. He then admitted to 4 charges, including unlawful sexual intercourse with a child under 13 and the production of child pornography.
Lawmakers in Japan voted in favor of Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba to stay on as leader of the country after his scandal-hit Liberal Democratic Party (LDP) lost its parliamentary majority. Ishiba, who replaced former Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, called for a snap poll last month after taking office. However, the move severely backfired and the LDP conceded their majority in the lower house election. In today's vote, neither Ishiba nor the leader of the opposition, Yoshihiko Noda of the Constitutional Democratic Party, secured an outright majority, leading to a rare runoff for the first time in nearly 30 years. But 67-year-old Ishiba prevailed, garnering 221 votes to outperform Noda, who got 161 votes. 84 ballots were deemed invalid. Ishiba was re-elected and will soon decide the lineup of his new cabinet. No party holds the outright majority of 233 in the 465-member lower house. But the LDP, combined with its coalition partner, the Komeito Party, remains the big force. The prospect of a minority government means the ruling coalition needs to heed more to demands from the opposition bloc. Anna Chan, Cable News. Ukraine's military said Russia launched nearly 145 drones towards every part of the country over the weekend, although most were shot down. The Kremlin also claimed to have intercepted 84 Ukrainian drones which entered Russian territory, with some reaching as far as the capital Moscow and nearby regions. This was the largest drone attack between both countries since Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump reportedly spoke with Russian President Vladimir Putin and advised him not to escalate the conflict. The Washington Post, citing people familiar with the phone call, reported that Trump reminded Putin of Washington's sizable military presence in Europe and expressed interest in follow-up conversations on the resolution of the Ukraine war soon. During his election campaign, Trump had vowed to end the war within the day, but he did not say how. The Ukraine conflict will be a topic of discussion when Trump visits the White House later this week to fine-tune the transition of power with President Joe Biden. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said Biden will ask his successor not to walk away from Ukraine, or it would lead to more instability in Europe. Trump spoke to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky after winning the election. Zelensky has warned that without U.S. aid, Ukraine will lose the war. Strength and diplomacy must work together to bring the war to an end and to ensure that such conflict does not happen again in the future, Zelensky added. Anna Chan, Cable News. The United Nations Annual Conference on Climate Change, popularly known as COP29, opened today in Baku, the capital of Azerbaijan. With a focus on global warming and on how countries can reduce carbon emissions, the forum navigates through the decisions made at the Paris Agreement in 2015. Mukhtar Babiyev, the environmental minister of Azerbaijan, who is the current president of COP29, urged businesses in the private sector to cough up cash for the developing world to invest in a low-carbon economy or face the consequences of climate breakdown. No country is immune, he warned. As leaders from around 200 nations get ready to visit the conference over the next 2 weeks, the UN's World Meteorological Organization issued a red alert over climate change, saying 2024 is on track to be the world's warmest year on record, outstripping the record hit witnessed last year. Leaders of the United States and China will not be a part of this year's event.
Cryptocurrency Bitcoin surged past $80,000 for the first time as traders hedged their bets on the virtual asset after Donald Trump's landslide victory in the U.S. election.
The United States will be the crypto capital of the planet, and
the world's biggest cryptocurrency has now risen by more than 80% this year after Trump pledged to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the planet while on his campaign trail. The bullish trade in the digital currency has seen a surge in its futures trading, with some crypto exchanges registering transactions worth $2.8 billion for Bitcoin to hit $90,000 soon.